Texas A&M gets upset by Appalachian State. And oh my God, this was a disaster for Texas A&M football on all levels. They paid Appalachian State $1.5 million to play them. Not only that, but they were a 19-point favorite going into this matchup. But you want to know what else is crazy? Did you know Texas A&M had 56 combined 4 and 5-star scholarship players on their roster? Do you know how many 5 and 4-star players Appalachian State has on their roster? 1. And when you look at this game, I really feel like there's no way you can say Texas A&M didn't lose this game. And props to Appalachian State for the win. They played a very good game. But for Texas A&M, they really shot themselves in the foot. And of course, we can all point the finger at Jimbo Fisher. And we will point the finger at Jimbo Fisher because Jimbo, what the hell, man? The play calling has to change. Texas A&M only ran 2 plays in Appalachian State territory in this game until their final drive. So prior to their last drive in this ball game, they only ran 2 plays that were in Appalachian State territory. That's crazy. They only had 89 rushing yards. And you want to know what was more ridiculous? The lack of production that Texas A&M had in the passing game. It's pretty obvious that Haynes King is not a great passer of the football. And Max Johnson is. And the thing with Jimbo Fisher is that I'm guessing the decision why he went with Haynes King over Max Johnson was because he wanted more athleticism at the quarterback position. I can understand that. But at the same time, having a quarterback that is a good passer but may not be a great athlete is never a negative. Because anytime you have a quarterback who can throw the football, it's always a plus. Because at the end of the day, the games that you win or lose are going to be decided by how effectively you can throw the football through the air. Not all the time by how great you are on the ground. You still got to put the ball in the air eventually. And for Max Johnson, I think that he is a better passer of the football than Haynes King, and he should be the starting quarterback. And not just that, but we act like Max Johnson can't run the football at all. Max Johnson is a way better athlete and has way more mobility than what a lot of people give him credit for. I think Jimbo Fisher should go back and reevaluate the quarterback position. Because there's no way after the last 2 weeks of A&M football that we've watched that you can possibly justify to us that Haynes King right now looks to be a better option than Max Johnson. And Max Johnson also is a proven quarterback. Last year for LSU, he wasn't great, but he was pretty good. So you also have somebody who has tons of experience. You know, I just don't really understand what's going on with this whole Haynes King thing. I think for Jimbo, Max Johnson gives you a better chance to win. But there's a reason why I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to be a head coach, why I get paid money to talk to you guys. And why you guys listen to me. But I just think it's pretty obvious that Haynes King is not it at quarterback. And playing Miami this week, you definitely going to need more out of the quarterback position. And then Appalachian State just did whatever they wanted to up front against A&M. And it's really odd because A&M has probably the most talented defensive line in college football. I mean, they are absolutely loaded up front. But Appalachian State had 181 rushing yards. And Texas A&M only had 89. And the fact that Appalachian State was on the field for 41 minutes and 29 seconds compared to Texas A&M only being on the field for 18 minutes and 17 seconds, it was just body blow after body blow. And it doesn't matter how much talent and how much depth you have. Eventually, if you're on the field for a lot of plays and a lot of downs, you're going to get tired. You're going to get wear down. And that's kind of what happened to Texas A&M in this game. Because Appalachian State, they didn't really do anything impressive on offense, at least in my opinion. But they made big plays in the most crucial moments of the game. And then Texas A&M had 7 penalties and 2 fumbles. Appalachian State had no turnovers and only had 5 penalties, 2 less penalties than what Texas A&M had. And that's a perfect recipe for cooking up an upset. You got to make sure that you have less turnovers, that you commit less penalties. You got to be more disciplined. And on top of that, you got to make sure that you're able to execute in the biggest moments. And there were still plenty of opportunities for Texas A&M to win this game. But Appalachian State was able to capitalize, and Texas A&M unfortunately suffered the upset. And it's really disappointing to be a Texas A&M fan right now, because you always have these high expectations coming in every single season. Oh, you're a dark horse college football playoff contender. Is this the year that Texas A&M can finally dethrone Alabama and win the SEC West? Now, you still have all those goals ahead of you. You can still make the college football playoffs because you do play in the SEC, the toughest conference in America. You do play in the SEC West, which is absolutely loaded. You still have a chance to not only make the playoffs, but win the conference and the division. So all your goals are ahead of you. But there are a lot of things that have to change, and they need to change fast. But a lot of props goes out to Appalachian State on the upset. You know, this was a team that a week ago came close to beating North Carolina. So for Appalachian State and the rest of the Sun Belt Conference, because Georgia Southern upset Nebraska, and Nebraska was a 23-point favorite. Marshall upset Notre Dame, and Notre Dame was a 20-point favorite. So kudos to not just Appalachian State, but the whole entire Sun Belt Conference, because they made a statement this weekend, ladies and gentlemen.